What Paul wrote to the Romans, how he wanted to go to Jerusalem, and then after that, for years, he had been longing to go to Rome. He wanted to come. He wanted to encourage the brothers there. And think about how incredibly unlikely this looked when Paul was in Jerusalem, how from the moment he arrives, he almost is killed, and then he's almost flogged, and then he's almost killed again, and then he's almost torn from limb to limb. It's just like, how is he going to survive Jerusalem? Never mind ever make it to Rome to be a witness to Jesus there, right? Like, it looks impossible. And here's Jesus telling Paul, we've got him right where we want him, Paul. I'm putting everything together. You are going to go to Rome. Everything is happening just as it should. Jesus is saying, I am making a way. You see, Jesus is the great Waymaker. This is what he does. He opens up doors. He makes the impossible possible. We see it most of all in the resurrection of Jesus. You think about it, after the cross, after the death of Jesus, the disciples are just moping around, right? Jesus has died. Their hope is gone. It's dashed. And then all of a sudden on the third day, they're locked behind doors and Jesus is appearing to them. He's alive in the flesh. And it turns out that the cross wasn't the end of the story, but that God had used the cross as an instrument of salvation for any sinner who turns to Jesus in faith. And he had emptied the grave in a display of his power over death. And suddenly this thing that looked like it was the end of hope was in fact the greatest source of hope and salvation the world had ever seen. This is what God does. Has God given you a vision, a calling, a longing in your life that you know is from him, but the circumstances around you right now make the fulfillment of that seem impossible? And maybe you're giving up hope. Maybe you're in that place of just saying it's never going to happen. I don't see how it ever could happen. Listen to Jesus' words to Paul again. Take courage, don't be afraid. Don't despair. Don't lose hope. He's with you.